Page 29, My Yo-Yo. They're introducing a new musical term for you to know from now on, and I hope you know and understand all these musical symbols we've had so far. But this is an 8VA. That's what it looks like. Sometimes you just see the 8. You don't get the VA. Whatever. It all means the same. And that means you're going to play the notes and octaves somewhere else, up or down. Like in their example at the top, they give a G here. Well, a G with an 8VA above the staff means you would play that note an octave higher. It's like we've been doing in the duets. An octave, remember, is an interval of an eighth, and is simply letter to letter. So you just play that G an octave higher on the piano. That's all it is. If the 8VA were below the staff, you'd go down an octave. So pretend the 8VA there, instead of above that G, it's below it. In that case, you'd go down an octave, play it down here. That's how it works. So it applies to the staff it's next to. It does not apply to both staffs. Just the staff it's next to. If it's above the staff, you go up. If it's below the staff, you go down. If they want both hands to move, they have to put in a note, both hands or both staves, or they have to put the 8VA above or below both staves, however it is. A lot of times you'll find where the top staff, the 8VA is above it, you're going up, and then the bottom staff, they'll put the 8VA below it. So you're going down. So the right hand's going up, and at the same time, the left hand's going down. That's fun. Okay. But we get this in the last line of this. You see the 8VA above the staff there in measure 12. And then there's a dashed line after. That's how they can extend the 8VA. Now, they want to put an 8VA on every note. So they just used a dashed line to extend it out as long as it goes. So it goes all the way to the end in this case, all the way to the half note. Now, they give you some sight reading things up there. You can sight read those if you want. Just play them. How fast or whatever, doesn't matter. There's no time signature or nothing. You just play the notes. Don't practice them. Just try and play them right off the bat. You don't prepare for them. You don't put in the note names. You don't try and figure. You just use the fingering they got and try and play the notes. So let's see what the yo-yo is up to. I look it over. It's 3 lines long. The clef signs are treble and bass clef. The time signature now is 4/4 time. I see quarter notes, half notes, whole notes, dotted half notes. We got tied notes and staccatos and slurs and 8VA. Oh, getting busy here. And we are moving around just a little bit in the right hand, but I'll talk about that when I get there. Now the hands are playing at the same time, so I'm going to talk about the hands one at a time here. Let's make sure we know what each hand is doing before we try and put them together, because a lot of times when I do that, it's almost like starting over. So just one hand at a time here. Right hand is here to start. And it's the quarter notes. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4. Get the idea? And again, I do the articulation later. Right now, I'm connecting all the notes. That's kind of important. So yeah, connect the notes. You can't connect repeated notes. You just do the best you can. You pretend you can connect it. Now let's talk about that last line, this measure 11. They want you to do a 1-3 on all of these. So you're going to move around, but you're only moving around in steps. See, the notes are just going up or down to the next note. So it's in steps. So the measure 11, you're here. This is where you've been. And then you go down. You have to look at the keyboard for that at first. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4. And then in measure 12, it's the same notes, but now you have an 8VA. So during the 2 rests, you have 2 beats of rest, just simply come up here. And it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Now it's the same fingering for all. Just go up the keyboard. 1. That's all it is. There's other fingerings would be better, but this is kind of nice. We need practice at this. It's that feeling of going up or down to the next key on the keyboard. You want to get eventually where you don't even need to look at the piano for that. You can feel going up or down one key. You'll have to look at first, and that's okay. Don't worry about it. But someday you want to get to where you don't. Left hand, well, you're starting out with a G and a D, so that puts you here. And that whole note is tied to a dotted half note, so you're holding it down for 7 counts, and then 4, 1, again, 7 counts. Till you get to measure 7. Now you got 2 whole notes tied together. So you hold that down for 8 counts. It gets better, don't it? And then measure 9, you get to play. And it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. So you're playing during the rests on the right hand. Okay. So once I have an idea what the hands are doing, then I attempt to put them together. I'm going to hesitate all over, I don't care. I just want to know how the hands are working together. So at the beginning, it's these notes are together. And I'm holding the left hand down. Second measure. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Let's go down to the last line. They're all basically quarter notes. So rhythm-wise, it shouldn't be a problem. It's just you got things going on, the rest. And it's 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. Now make sure you don't hold these notes down. You got rest. You got to lift up. So again, measure 11. 1, 2, 3, 1. As you're playing this, you got to get the right hand up here. So again, 1, 2, 3, 1, 3, 1. 1, 2, 3. Now, last measure. Let's be accurate here. You have a half note. 1, 2, 3. It comes up on B3. It's important. This note in the left hand is played on beat 3 because it has a half rest, so it has to be quiet for 2 beats. So it's 1, 2, 3. So as this plays, this comes up. 2, 3. And then on beat 4, they're both resting. So once I have an idea what the hands are doing, then I go back over it slowly and carefully and get rid of the hesitation. So it's a steady beat. And then I'll think about the articulation. We got slurs and staccatos. The staccatos, I'm flexing at the wrist, are short. The idea? Starting at measure 9, and for the rest of the piece, they're all staccatos, just all short. Until the last measure, you get that half note. That's not staccato. 1, 2, 3. So once I have an idea of the articulation, then I add the dynamics. MF at the beginning is the only one you get. Yuck, that's boring. Mezzo forte is moderately loud. That applies to the melody. And for the most part, it's the right hand until you get to measure 9. And then it's both hands, more or less. So whatever you think moderately loud is moderately heavy. This needs to be soft, light here. And this bit of playing moderately loud and light at the same time, you're heavy, you feel a little off balance here. It's something we need to work on because it's important that you get the idea of playing one hand louder than the other. Exaggerate it if you have to. Play this really loud and this really light at the same time to get that feeling. And then you can back off here. In that last line, it's all melody. Just play it all the same. At mezzo, well, you don't have to play it all at mezzo forte. You can get louder and softer. When you get into it and you start feeling it, remember the natural accents? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. Yeah, feel it. The brightly is brightly. It's like happily. You're having fun with the yo-yo, I guess. I'm not sure. I'm never very good at yo-yos, but okay. Now, please don't copy me. You don't have to take it at that speed. You don't have to take it at that loudness. You decide on how you feel it. Once you can play it at least slowly with no hesitation, so let's play it together and check the notes and the rhythms. I'll give us 4 counts. 1, 2, ready, go. 4. One, two, three, rest.